Right in front of me, we have two Dragon Touch digital calendars. Some people call them smart calendars. Basically a interactive display that syncs with your calendar in real time. Plus, you can do things like a photo frame. You could also, if you'd like, do chores and a plethora of other things that we're gonna look into here in just a second. But real quick, there are multiple sizes. They have 10.1 inch. They also have the 15.6 inch, the 21.5 inch, as well as a 24, 27, and 32 inch version. And they do come, I believe all of them in black or white. Both of these right here are white. So this is going to be a more cost-effective option compared to some of the bigger brands out there, probably half the price. Right now on sale, this one's $250, this one's $350, I believe. And that is actually a crazy discount compared to a company like Skylight, where they are gonna charge you a pretty penny. So with that said, pricing's great. So far, everything looks good, but let's pop one of these open, see what the quality's like, see what the options are, and see just how well this thing really works. We're unboxing the 21.5 inch model. As you can see in this first box, we have the stand with a rubber base, which is nice so it won't slide around. That is if you'd like to set it up like a normal photo frame on a countertop or something like that. However, you do have the option with the screws and the little hanging guide right here to mount it to the wall if you'd like. We also have the power plug, which I will say you cannot run it off of a battery or anything like that. It does have to be plugged in, so that's something worth keeping in mind. With that aside, let's take this out. We have the quick start guide, which goes a little more in detail on wall hanging and doing the bracket installation if you'd like. And the operating instructions are super straightforward. Plug it in, connect it to Wi-Fi, download the app, and connect it. And that's literally the extent of it. So there's QR codes and all that included there. And here we go on the actual display. One thing that's really nice about Dragon Touch is that they will allow you to not only mount it the horizontal way, but vertically as well. And if we look here on the back, it'll tell you, hey, use these holes if you're going vertical and use these if you're going horizontal. So really clean back here. We just have the power and that's it. We have a nice little channel for the cable to go down, which is nice, especially if you're mounting it to a wall. And then the front here is extremely sleek. Not a lot going on at all. Definitely nice heft. For me, I'm going to put this on a countertop like a photo frame, and I want to mount it horizontally. So I'm going to use the hole specified for that, use the provided screwdriver because why go get mine when they give you one? And literally, that's it. Very straightforward. As far as angle, you can adjust that, which is nice. It's not like you're at a fixed angle. So some use cases, you can probably lay it out a little bit more, but that looks good to me. I can see along here at the top, we do have a power button and volume button. So that's pretty sleek. I like that I didn't even notice that at first because I don't want it to be this ugly piece that takes over the space. I want it to just blend in seamlessly. Now that we did that, let's go ahead and plug this bad boy in and get it going. I'm gonna go ahead and download the app now. I will say the screen is very bright. I really like the clarity. So for the price, I'm actually quite impressed. All right, so I have my activation code. So there we go, just like that, we have our screen set up. I'm gonna go ahead and sync the calendar now. I'm on the app, I hit Google because that's what I use. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into that. As you can see, my Google Calendar has loaded and we have quite a few things happening. At the top, it's gonna list out your all day events. So for example, tomorrow I'm flying to Boston, then I'm going to Raleigh. There's a half marathon on Saturday. And over here, these are events that have times attached to it. The blue line indicates right now, as you can see, it's 9:55 p.m. The Giants are actively playing the Chiefs, and I'm preferring to make this video, but I can hit filter and I can see those different colors. So purple is one that I share with my fiance. The red is for the New York Giants, and then green would be my own personal calendars, you know, if I accept a meeting or something like that, and then we have holidays. But I can add some, I could turn these off. Really nice to be able to filter that out. And this may not look super exciting, but that's just because it depends what time things are happening. So I'm only gonna see things happening at 8 o'clock. We can change that up here at schedule. We can change it to day. So we can just say, hey, you know what? All I care about is what's happening today. I had a cool little tour this morning at Animal Kingdom, and tonight I have the Giants game. That's all I have for today. So yeah, you can just go through and see all the different things happening at a quick glance from day mode, or you can go to week, month. If I go to month, you'll see just a whole bunch of things happening here. But yeah, I'd probably blur that out. I don't know, some random things on there. But yeah, schedule I feel like is probably the best. And I really love how quick and interactive this is. It's not lagging. You've seen me click on different things, and normally that's what you would expect, especially something that's half the price of, you know, the main cool competitor version. So very happy with that. It's worth noting that here on the left-hand side, we have a bunch of different tabs. We have tasks. Just at a quick glance, you can see what you have going on. Rewards, if you have little kids and you want them to feel special, like, oh, clean your room and I'll feed you. You can set that up as an option here, which is super cool. It'd be really weird and toxic if me and my fiance had set up different reward systems for each other. Meals, I've not looked too much into this, but people use it for meal prepping, but also just staying on the same page about what to expect. So let's say you're a family of 4, you can just say, hey, dinner, we're doing chicken, we're doing steak, we're doing hamburgers, just at a quick glance for grocery shopping purposes, but also for everyone to know what to expect for dinner. Pretty neat. So really like that option. Over here in photos, I did add 3 photos. You have to add manually. Sadly, you have to add them manually. You cannot sync from a service like Google Photos, so that is a bit of a bummer, but I just tested it out and truly, it does a good job. There's a lot of different settings here to get the most out of it. If we go into settings, you'll see we can change the display. So fit to screen, you'll have like the blurred lines on the side. Full fix, you won't have all this movement, but it won't have any black bars or anything. And then if we go back into settings, we have the transition, which right now I feel like is a little crazy. And we can choose the slideshow interval and all that fun stuff. But yeah, there you go, very simple. Yeah, this is a really cool slideshow effect that you can actually enable later on, which I'll show you here in a second. But that was the photo section. And down here we have lists. So grocery lists, to-do lists, you could add new lists as well. And then you could add these here. So instead of having Post-it notes all over the place or doing it in your phone and then, you know, another person in your family doesn't have access to that list, you can just come in here and be like, yeah, I need ketchup. So there you go with that. Then we have sleep. This is really nice. Middle of the night, you don't want the whole kitchen lit up or wherever you put this, you can just turn this on to turn off like 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And then over here we have settings. So this is what I was referencing before. We actually have the ability, if we go over to photos, we can set up screensaver. So those photos I showed you before that I added from the app will actually automatically start 5 minutes with no use, which is really cool. So again, more options here to mess with. Of course, there's a whole bunch of things in here that you can play with. I have not really gotten super deep into this. The only thing that I think matters would be user management. So if I want to add my fiance, if you're a family of 5, 6, 7, you could add all the kids, parents, extended family, you name it, add them here so they'll have an option to add this to their app, which is super neat. But that's really the extent of this thing. There's not a lot to do. It's very straightforward, and I love it because of how intuitive it is. If you want to purchase a digital smart calendar, this is what you want it to do. Display a calendar in a smart, intuitive way. And that's it. You don't want all these extra bells and whistles. So from my perspective, really, really solid interface. And man, this screen is bright. It is bright as hell, and it is super crisp. So I'm actually very shocked by that because number one, I was worried that the software would be glitchy, as you would expect with certain products like this. And 2, I was worried that the screen would not be that great. But hey, we have automatic brightness on, and this thing is super bright. But we have to check out that 15.6 inch and see how the screen is on that one. So here we are looking at the 15.6 inch model. The setup is identical. The power plug is a little bit smaller, but overall exact same process. So 10 out of 10 for that. However, we have something to talk about. I don't know how well this is going to show on camera because of course it's exposing for the screen and everything else around it looks dark. However, there is a big difference between these two screens and hopefully it's obvious, but what I'm about to show you will definitely show the difference. First and foremost, the viewing angle. So nothing really changes when I tilt that. However, when I tilt this screen, oh no. Oh boy. And that's for every angle. It is atrocious. I am telling you, it is night and day. This thing is so bright, and this is already dim. Plus the viewing angle is horrific. So you might be wondering, Matt, did you have the brightness up, blah, blah, blah. If we go to settings here, and then we go over to automatic brightness, you'll see it's off, and the brightness is all the way up. This is on automatic brightness, this is not. And man, it looks dim in comparison. Very jarring when they're next to each other. And I just can't get over that. This is a product that quite literally depends on readability from a very far distance, in addition to different random angles. That is the entire purpose of having your calendar somewhere, so you could read it from wherever you are. So not only is this going to be more readable because of the size, but man, the displays are just so different. I'm sorry, I just cannot recommend this one. Not a great panel at all. With that said, it is worth noting that, like I mentioned, you can auto rotate, so that is pretty cool to see on the smaller one. And then of course over here, we can auto rotate like so. It's pretty fast, not too shabby. And yeah, there we go. So at least it has that going for it. I mentioned earlier that they offer a whole bunch of different sizes. However, I can only recommend the 21.5 inch monitor because, wow, the difference is so jarring. I don't know how the 32 inch is gonna look. I don't know about the 27, the 24, the 10. I can't tell you. I can tell you the 21.5 is good, but that's about it. With that said, the software is really solid. It did everything I wanted it to. It's everything I expected out of a smart calendar. I don't really know what else you would want. Of course, I mentioned having Google Photo Sync and things like that, but they can do updates. They can add that, which is really cool. Everything moves really fast. There's no lag. Setup was super simple. Seriously, so straightforward. The first time I did it, it worked. And that's not always the case with smart products. So 10 out of 10 on that aspect. And for the price, it's really a great alternative to something like the Skylight. I don't know every little detail about the Skylight. I'm sure this is missing some features, but truly, this did everything I needed, and that is really solid at half the price, okay? Because the Skylight's like starts at $500-600, something like that. Insane. So overall, I definitely do recommend this product. However, be warned that not every panel is going to be great, depending on the size. So if you're getting the 21.5, great. But if you're trying a different size, well, let me know your experience. I'll leave a link down below in the description so you can check these out. I do have an Amazon affiliate link, which will support the channel. And I do also have a link to their website where they might be running a better deal. It just depends when you watch this video, but you can pick this one up for $350 and it's definitely a pretty solid device. With that said, I'm Matt Affiliate or Not. Get out of my face, have a great day, and I'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Thank you for watching Swashing on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed watching. If not, then fuck you. Please hit subscribe because my channel is dead. Jesus Christ, man, that's just really sad.